We all believe in fairy tales and happy endings, but for wrongdoers and serial cheaters like Kevin Hunter, there will be no such thing. The man has finally gotten what he deserves, aka nothing, and this time, it's official. It seems like no one, including the judge, believes in his tale of woe. The media has published a report stating that Hunter's petition to a judge to and always bring you the hottest updates. And if you were waiting for some good news in Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter's battle over money, let us serve it to you straight away. The sources revealed earlier this morning that the judge denied Kevin's demand to resume alimony payments. Apparently, Kevin's sob story about being homeless is about to turn into reality, but let's not rush to conclusions so quickly. Follow our story and make sure to stay until the end of this video to get all the details. We couldn't be happier to open the press today and see the headline that Kevin Hunter was officially left high and dry. The U.S. tabloid The Sun reported, Wendy Williams judge denies ex-Kevin Hunter's demands for host to continue alimony payments after he admits he's broke. According to the documents obtained by the media, Kevin won't be getting a single dime from Wendy or her financial guardian. The article states that the judge claimed Wendy's financial guardian will not have to resume cutting his alimony checks. The story continues. The judge found that Kevin's request was not emergent and ordered his application to be dismissed without prejudices. Do you also hear the triumphant sounds of justice being served? Because we sure do. Everyone felt from the very beginning that Kevin's attempt to extort money from Wendy was nothing but a pathetic and desperate move, and here's finally the proof. But will this be the end of the story? Or does Kevin have some aces hidden up his sleeve? Because the judge hinted that Kevin still might appeal to a higher court. The article stated, the judge said while they don't consider his demand for alimony payments an emergency, he can still take his case to mediation. But we think that his desperation may push him to continue the battle for money. Considering Kevin's statements about being broke and not being able to pay for his car, house, and medical bills, he even mentioned that he has no health insurance. Apparently, all the money was spent on Sharina's outfits, jewelry, and hairstyle. But here comes the best part of the story. Instead of finding a job or another source of income, Hunter didn't think of anything better than spending the remaining money on high-value lawyers and suing Wendy for breaching their settlement agreement. Do you think this is the end of his atrocities? Here's more to add. He was planning to pin these bills on Wendy as well because what else can you expect from a man who has been leeching off her for decades? But surprise, Kevin, you might be over head and ears in debt now because, as The Sun reports, the judge also denied Kevin's request for attorney fees to be paid by Wendy. Boy, what a joke this man is. Did he really expect that his little trick would play out and a judge would rule in his favor? He might be completely mental. If he keeps fighting, he's going to bury himself in debt even more. But judging by his recent statements, he has no choice. Word is on the street that Sharina Hudson wants to dump him if he can't provide her with the same level of luxury. Plus, he is so used to carelessly spending Wendy's money even after the divorce that he might have forgotten what it feels like to wake up every morning and go to work. If you remember the details of their scandalous divorce, you should know that Wendy was obliged to send Kevin alimony checks, and so she did every month. The former TV host repeatedly stated that she held to her part of the settlement agreement, even knowing that Hunter will be spending her money on his new family, Sharina Hudson, who has been his mistress for 15 years, and their illegitimate child. However, what came as a shock for both Kevin and Sharina that Wendy was not planning to dance to their tune and sponsor their lavish lifestyle forever. And when payments abruptly stopped, Kevin Hunter and his boo decided they somehow have the right to open their little mouths and blame Wendy for breaching the agreement. Apparently, Kevin didn't read his divorce papers at all. As far as we know, he signed a contract, which stated that as long as Wendy was doing her TV show, he could get some money from her. But guess what happened? The Wendy Williams show, which has been so solid and popular for 14 seasons, has ended because of Wendy's health issues. So, in fact, Wendy lost her job and income. And although she is a millionaire, that still means that she may give her ex big fat nothing. Check and mate, Kevin. But the thought of thousands of dollars being stored on Wendy's accounts probably haunted Hunter and his side boo Sharina. They instantly came up with a series of pathetic ideas on how to extort more cash from Wendy. They didn't even consider her fragile health and unstable mental state, and kept demanding, threatening, crying in public, throwing shade at Wendy via Instagram, and even suing her. Knowing that Ms. Williams was placed under financial guardianship and had no access to her assets, they kept mentioning her name in every statement and blaming her for all their financial misfortunes. The audacity of these two makes us sick. We don't know who exactly came up with the plan to sue Wendy, but it was a mistake. Since she's unable to make any financial decisions, she has a strong team of lawyers protecting her funds from mooches like Kevin and Sharina. But even a financial advisor didn't look like much of an obstacle for these two. The media reported, Kevin asked that the court order Wendy's guardian to make payments as contractually required under the Messay and severance agreement. So let us get this straight. Kevin actually petitioned to demand that Wendy's guardian should resume his payments. Can you imagine the boldness of this clown? At this point, we are only happy that the judge denied his lame demands. We mean you mess with your wife's life for 2 decades and don't have a bit of shame as to leave her alone after all the pain you had caused? Fans don't have a single drop of sympathy for Kevin. Look what they say about him on social media. He's broke since his gravy train has stopped gear spinning. He is selling his story for money. He's asking the court to get Wendy Williams to reinstate his alimony payments. He should have thought about that before he threw it all away for his mistress. And another person commented, now Wendy Williams' ex begging the court for alimony cause he's broke. Better make another Wendy then. Champ. Here's another great comment that we all agree with. I absolutely love this for him and his mistress. May his pain and suffering be long, slow, and hard. God is good. However, it may still be early to celebrate Wendy's victory. Judge mentioned that there was still a possibility for the case to be reviewed, which means Kevin can continue fighting for his ex-wife's funds. According to The Sun, the parties are to participate in binding arbitration. The issues surrounding the severance payments and the qualified domestic relations order are disputed and therefore need to be mediated. Well, we all wish Wendy Williams strength and courage, because this battle might be a long and tough one. We all can't wait for Kevin to admit his defeat and stop exploiting Wendy. But since the man learned only one thing in his life, which is mooching off his ex-wife, it looks like even the court's orders are not going to stop him. But will any judge be ever on his side? What do you reckon?